Marcus Hale had worked the night shift at Redwood Storage for nearly 4 years. Nothing ever happened there. No break-ins, no emergencies, no strange reports. Just endless hours of silence and glowing security monitors. At exactly midnight, Marcus began another ordinary shift. He would never finish it. Everything appeared normal. Marcus sat in front of the surveillance screens, sipping coffee and watching the empty hallways. Then one monitor flickered. Corridor C appeared on the screen. At the far end stood a dark figure, completely motionless. Marcus leaned closer to get a better look. The image flickered again and the figure was gone. Nearly 30 minutes passed without incident. Then the office phone rang. Marcus answered and listened. His expression slowly changed. Without saying a word, he hung up and left the office. Later, investigators discovered something impossible. No incoming call had been received. The phone never rang. Yet Marcus clearly heard something that made him leave the safety of the security office. Marcus entered Corridor C carrying a flashlight. The hallway was empty. He checked both directions and found nothing unusual. As he turned to leave, a storage unit door at the far end slowly rolled upward by itself.
Just say something.
Marcus froze. Unit C-19 had been vacant for 7 months. There was no tenant, no electricity, and no recorded access requests. Yet the door had opened from inside. He cautiously approached. His flashlight beam disappeared into the darkness beyond the doorway. Then the camera audio captured something faint. A voice, barely audible. It sounded like someone whispering Marcus's name. Marcus immediately backed away and ran from the corridor. Behind him, the storage door slammed shut with tremendous force. A short time later, Marcus appeared in the loading bay. He looked frightened now, constantly glancing over his shoulder. He tried using his radio, but there was no response, only static. Then Marcus noticed something. He stared toward a ceiling camera, but not at the lens. His eyes were fixed on something standing directly beneath it. The camera angle did not show that area. Marcus slowly backed away, visibly terrified. Investigators later enhanced the footage repeatedly, but found nothing visible. Still, Marcus behaved as if someone stood only a few feet away, watching him and waiting. Suddenly, every light in the loading bay shut off. Complete darkness filled the screen. 3 seconds passed. When the lights returned, Marcus was gone. No movement was captured, no exit route was visible. He had simply vanished. Later, another hallway camera captured Marcus again. At least, it appeared to be Marcus. He walked slowly, unnaturally slowly. His movements seemed wrong, almost as if someone was attempting to imitate how a human walks. He stopped beneath the camera and slowly looked upward. His face was pale and expressionless. This was the last confirmed footage showing Marcus. At least, the last footage showing the real Marcus. He continued staring into the camera. Then his mouth began to open wider and wider, far beyond what should have been physically possible. The image distorted before freezing completely. Hours later, the security office appeared empty. One by one, camera feeds began shutting off until only a single monitor remained active. It showed Corridor C. The dark figure had returned, standing motionless at the far end of the hallway, watching. Facility records later revealed something disturbing. The figure's position matched an individual reported missing in 1998, a former night guard whose body was never found. Then something even stranger happened. The figure slowly raised one hand and pointed directly toward the camera. The feed immediately cut to black. Months later, investigators discovered an overlooked recording from the server room. Rows of machines hummed quietly in the darkness. Then the door opened. Marcus entered, or something that looked like Marcus. Its movements were stiff and jerky, wrong. The figure walked to the center of the room and stood completely still. Then it slowly turned toward the camera. Its face became visible. It was Marcus, but not entirely. His eyes were completely black. His mouth hung open. Inside, there was only darkness. No teeth, no tongue, just an endless void. The figure leaned closer to the camera as if examining whoever might be watching. Then it smiled. The final recording was heavily corrupted. Static covered the screen. Slowly, an image formed. Marcus was back in the security office, sitting calmly at his desk and drinking coffee. It was the beginning of his shift again. Then the footage looped. Again and again and again. Investigators initially assumed the recording was damaged, but eventually they noticed something impossible. Each time the footage restarted, another figure appeared standing behind Marcus. With every loop, it moved closer, 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 until during the final loop, the figure stood directly behind him, with its face inches from his ear. The video suddenly paused. Investigators later discovered a hidden frame buried between recordings. The frame lasted less than a tenth of a second. It showed Marcus staring directly into the camera. His eyes were completely black. Beneath the image appeared a date 3 days in the future and a single line of text. Shift accepted. The facility permanently closed 6 weeks later. Marcus Hale was never found. However, every year on October 14th, the abandoned security system briefly comes online for exactly 1 minute. According to technicians who have witnessed it, a new camera feed appears each year. The feed shows a lone night guard sitting quietly in the security office, staring at the monitors and waiting for his shift to begin. And just before the system shuts down again, a faint whisper